Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Commuters podcast. I am Austin Cairns, joined here with my good friend Nicholas Brown, and we are also joined here with a very special guest this week. He is 1/3 of the We Are Family podcast, a fellow sports comm student here at Point Park University. The one, the only Pirate Peyton is on the podcast. Peyton, it's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
It is, it's a dream come true for me to be here. I said to Nicholas Brown, Steel City Commuters. You guys are commuters. You're Steel City. I'm also a commuter, and I'm Steel City. I'm all about the Steel City, even though he's a Cowboys fan. But we'll get into that later.
Whoa! Already taking shots, but you're eating peanuts. So where in the hell
I'm
did we?
I'm Peanut Peyton.
Peanut
today.
Peyton.
Peanut
Not
Peyton.
Pirate Peyton today.
Peanut Peyton. We'll definitely take that. But Peyton, I mean, I had the honor of being a guest on your podcast.
Yep.
We Are Family a little bit last year, so now we're kind of flipping the rules a little bit this year.
You let him on your podcast? That probably got 0 views.
That was actually one of the greatest views ever in the history of our country. Actually,
History of our country.
in
Wait
the
a minute.
history of our country.
Well, okay, let's not be exaggerating now.
But in our pod, I think that one got like 100 views. I don't know. I don't keep track. There was too many episodes now. I don't know how many views it got.
Well, no, I was glad to be on. I felt bad because I was in a suit that day because I was on my way to do a Carlo game beforehand.
Right. Oh,
and
no,
I
we
didn't-
loved
yeah.
the suit. We loved it.
I just wanted to show up in something casual, and then I found out I'm doing a Carlo game, and I'm like, oh, I got to go straight to Carlo after this. I'm not going to have time to go home. I live in Carnegie, so it would have been back.
Well, if anyone knows Austin Cairns, he's a true professional, and he's always doing something to help his own career and to help others. So
Thank you.
We love that about you, Austin. Yeah, I mean, hey, we felt like we had a very high, we felt even that we had a higher end guest than we normally do with that suit. So we loved it.
I appreciate that, Peyton. That means a lot. But you're also a Point Park student here, just like both of us are as well. You're studying sports comm. I want to ask, what brought you to Point Park?
Oh, that's so. I made a lot of connections at Point Park previously. I job shadowed Greg Brown many years ago. Not many. Well, it's been a few years now. I was like a junior in high school, and so I knew that he went to Point Park. I knew that Bob Pompiani went to Point Park. I met his daughter at a thing, and we had a couple of great conversations. Selena, who also works at KDKA. My godfather, Dan Miller, played baseball at Point Park. He used to coach. He's a baseball coach. He used to coach at Penn Trafford. So a lot of familial and close connections over the years that have gone to Point Park. And it was just like I kind of wanted to stay close to home. I wanted to commute. And I didn't want to I wanted to enjoy my senior year of high school without stressing out too much about where I want to go. And I was considering RMU as well. It was a really good school too, but Point Park is just it's the downtown feel to it, with it being next to all of the big sports teams, and Point Park now being in Division II. Now at the time we didn't know that was the case, but I'm very glad now that we're in Division II. I think it makes things a lot better in terms of helping our sports communication program grow.
No, for sure. And I mean, that's something me and Nick actually talked about last week with Keith Palo, was about the opportunities that Point Park generates. And you can just get involved literally your freshman year with calling games, directing games, producing, sideline, U-View. There's so many different opportunities here. I want to ask you, though, where do you think the end goal is? Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know. I want to be on air doing. I just feel like I've always had a pretty fun personality, as hopefully you'll see today. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
I'm excited
today.
for this little clash over
Oh,
here.
this is this guy. I'll tell you what.
You're the issue.
Excuse me.
You never know what's gonna happen.
But I don't know what's gonna happen, and that's why I hope to just get a job in any type of sports media. To start
So just
out.
being on camera is kind of what you want.
I want to be on camera, but I want to start out behind the camera, whether that's as a producer. I have some experience producing now for our TV show Let's Talk Steelers on 22 The Point, Sunday mornings at 10:30, starting
Nice plug.
November 2nd, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's November 2nd. So just that doesn't really matter to me. Just to get in somewhere and work my way up. That's the goal.
That's the end goal. Something else that you've been doing as well while you're at Point Park is your We Are Family podcast.
Yeah,
as we mentioned before. I want to know where that began.
Podcasting, this is another point I could make. Podcasting has kind of inspired my interest in radio, as well as listening to 93.7 The Fan. Like, I would love to be in radio. I think there's a good chance that could happen, hopefully. Although, it's not like there's radio stations everywhere, but Pittsburgh has a good radio station brand. You talk about 93.7, all the music stations.
So it's like an on-air MC kind of thing, right?
What's that?
Like an on-air MC kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is what you're looking for?
But,
yeah.
A lot of guys do really well producing radio shows. Like, you look at 93.7 The Fan, like, one of the guys I look up to is Donnie Football. Like, he is a true Pittsburgher, but, like, he is really... And he wasn't really an on-air guy, but now he talks a lot, and you could tell how much he's improved being an on-air radio guy now, and he's still the producer. So that's a guy like I look up to, is someone from the area. But about the We Are Family Pittsburgh Sports Podcast, yeah, we started that in March of 2024, so it's been about over a year now. Or was it May? No, it was May of 2024. And it was, I got to meet Nate and Jake, who are two of my best friends at the school here. Nate and I work together on Let's Talk Steelers and Let's Talk Pittsburgh Sports, so go check that out at Pitt Sports Talk on YouTube. But me, Nate, and Jake were just talking baseball. There were a couple different times, and we just could go on and on and on. And Jake Bell's knowledge, I mean, both of them, but Jake Bell's knowledge, he has so much knowledge about baseball and about the Pirates. And it was just like, this has to be a podcast, the way we all gelled. And so we jumped right in. We had trouble naming our podcast. At first, it was the BCS podcast. It was Bell, Celesti, Shivens, our last names.
Oh, okay.
But that was just kind of like, nah, we need to rebrand. And so
something to roll off the tongue.
We Are Family Pittsburgh Sports. It doesn't necessarily roll off the tongue, but it represents Pittsburgh. It represents the community, and it represents, obviously, we love baseballs are all of our favorite sports, although football is a really close second. And so what better than the We Are Family 70s Pirates to brand our podcast off of? So we might have to work on a new logo here soon, but
there's time.
It's fun. And our over the summer, I feel like our podcast and social media, we're on TikTok, X, Instagram has grown, and every week we make picks, NFL picks during the season right now.
Oh, boy.
I'm terrible at NFL picks. Don't follow my picks.
Oh, we don't. Don't you worry.
But we have them on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram every week. So
it's smart, getting in the algorithm.
Yep, we love the sometimes we hate the algorithm, but we try to take advantage of the algorithm.
Yeah, you got to take advantage best you can.
The algorithm is very interesting on every platform. Austin is an algorithm king. Honestly, he nicks and picks at every algorithm, collaborating, when to post on this site. And I think that's going to be a transition to when a lot more people want to start a podcast and want to post on it. So what is your algorithm for We Are Family? When do you post? When do you typically post? What do you do leading up to your podcast? Do you post beforehand, afterhand? What's the nicks and cricks of it?
I think finding specific times and that's something we need to work on, because we're all busy and we're just trying to post stuff whenever we can.
Get it out, yeah.
But I try to do mornings or afternoons, or some actually the 4 to 5 o'clock window. Surprisingly, on X, has been really good at times. The thing is, we have to post a lot of our stuff on weekends, which I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing. But I mean, a lot of people you would think are looking at football stuff during the weekend. So we tried our best to just post as much as we can. Maybe I could learn some tips and tricks from you, because you guys got good stuff going on. But we're inching closer toward 100 subscribers on YouTube. So go check us out on YouTube and Spotify. But our YouTube is where we post our stuff primarily.
Mostly YouTube. And you guys usually do a 1 episode a week format?
Yeah, 1 episode a week. And we always record on Thursdays or Fridays.
Smart.
Now in the summer it's different because our schedules, but right now it's every Friday, because that's when we're all available. So then that ends up us uploading it on Saturday usually. I wish we could upload during the week, but that's just kind of what we're at. And we have to post, we can't post it on Monday because the NFL games are on Sunday.
Exactly.
So, but a lot of people, like, they may not see it during the weekend, but they'll still, like, watch it. Like, I'll see our views go up, like, Monday or Tuesday, and people will still watch, like, what we had to say about the upcoming week and the week before that.
Yeah,
So,
it's all about the algorithm. Like, we do a thing on 2 Jagoffs called Interview Sunday, where every Sunday we post an interview right at 10 a.m. And we've been doing that for about a year now consistently. So what we do is we'll throw up the interview, we'll throw up a promo with it, and then Monday and Tuesday, we just milk the hell out of that episode. So we'll put up clips, we'll put up reels, we'll put up TikToks of it, we'll tag everybody, collaborate with everybody. And we may not get the views right then and there on Sunday, but by Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, that episode is the most viewed episode of the month because you're just kind of milking that episode as much as you can and then you can also do like bonus content. You can comment on stuff, you can share stuff, repost stuff. So that's kind of how I got into the niche. But I'll tell you what, doing that, posting on Sundays and just kind of like waiting a day, let everybody watch it on Monday when they're back at work, back at school, it works. It really does. And I've noticed you guys do it, and it's smart. It's really smart.
Yeah, we have to improve in terms of when we post and being more consistent, but it's hard with all our schedules.
Oh, yeah, school's the
But yeah, I mean, you know, what's so great is there's 4 different podcasts that I know of, right? We have at Point Park, we have our podcast here, we're here on Steel City Commuters. There's 2 Jagoffs with you, Austin. And then there's Have a Shift Day, they're all hockey. And hopefully all 4 of us will collaborate on something soon. All 4 podcasts will collaborate on something soon. But I feel like we can all like learn from each other and help each other out. And I think, I mean, all of us are like good friends and respect one another. And I think that's a great thing for us for now and in the future. So
I agree. I'm still waiting for the Have a Shift Day call.
I'm still waiting for your family call.
You're getting a call, and we're gonna have you back on again, and we're gonna hopefully have you on in the next week or 2.
Because I can get really going on Nate. Some of those picks that he does every week. My God.
Hey, he cooked this week though. He went 4-1 this week.
4-1. Okay.
I'll defend my
Nate.
guy. Yeah, he
Poor Jake Bell.
But it's him and Cashman and Bell. They know what they're doing with the picks. Nate is like slightly better than me, but we're both bad at the picks. But hey, long season, maybe the tides will turn. We'll see.
I'll tell you what, though, I've been keeping up with your guys' episode because I tell Nick this all the time, and Nick can back me up on it. I'm crazy to the point where I listen to everything.
Oh, he does.
Right.
Like, I listen to everybody's podcast. I watch every reel. And it's not because, and I like to do it to show support to you guys, obviously, because we're all in this together.
And to learn.
Not even just to learn. It's more of just I want to show my support with you guys because I see that you guys have a shift day. I think Ryan Tila, he has a podcast too.
I forgot the Tila and Graves. Yeah, that's right. They're newer. Like they started like end of last year. I think I could be wrong, but yeah, shout out to them as well.
I listen to everybody's podcast, and not even just Point Park podcast. I listen to some other smaller local Pittsburgh podcasts just to kind of see, okay, what's everybody talk about? What's the topic of conversation? Okay, maybe I can throw some of my advice their way. Maybe they can throw some of their advice my way. And if there's an episode I really like, I'll even be the first to DM or text. I'm pretty sure you probably got one of those before saying, oh, hey, I really liked this episode. You guys did a good job. And that's just to kind of boost everyone's confidence because, again, we're all in this together. And not everybody is going to be in the same. We're not all going to be play-by-play commentators. No. We're all not going to be on ESPN one day. But all of us are going to be at least somewhere someday. So I feel like me doing my due diligence of trying to show some support to somebody can maybe boost someone's confidence up to even grow even more. So
yeah, well, I really appreciate that you listen because it's hard to find time to listen to, and then you have your national podcast too that I like to listen to as well. So I try to peek in as much as I can. I'm not able to listen to like a whole entire episode of even of our episodes. I don't even go back and watch.
Oh really? You don't?
I don't. I'll watch like a little bit here and there sometimes. But, you know, it's just, there's a lot going on, so.
I will say, though, you did have a recent guest on that I thought was pretty cool. Jason Earl. Yeah. That's my buddy right there.
We haven't been doing the guests as much since we started, but this year we're really focusing on bringing on more guests.
Smart.
We had Jason Earl. I mean, what a guy. I mean, it's crazy. I knew Jason before, like, he kind of broke out onto the scene at Pitt. He was a student there, and a guy I go to church with, it was roommates with Jason, and that's how I met Jason. And then you got to shadow with him last year, and you have a good relationship with him. Just a true professional, a consummate pro. We like saying a consummate pro. But man, he has a lot of great experience, and he's a good speaker too. I mean, that's not easy to do what he does at Acrisure, but a lot of his work really comes from being a producer and doing a lot of play-by-play. And he loves basketball. He loves Pitt basketball.
Oh,
That's his hot spot.
When I had him on 2 Jagoffs, I think 15 minutes of the hour was just Pitt basketball.
Yeah.
It was literally just Pitt basketball.
Yeah, he's what a great guy. Just can't say enough.
No, great guy. And I mean, something else you guys cover is obviously the NFL, which is something we all talk about. Nick, I know that you wanted to talk some NFL with us, so let's maybe bring you in. You've been a little quiet over there today.
Yeah,
I'm always quiet. I'm always quiet.
You're just observing the room?
Always. What are you talking about?
This is the class.
You're the second least quietest person.
I don't want to hear it. Let's
Quiet
go.
here.
We're going right to the NFL. Big game Sunday from the Steelers in Ireland.
Yes.
24-21. They're coming back with a victory. Bye week is in perfect time, given the injuries are piling up. Thoughts from Ireland? How do they improve from here?
Well, offensively, I was shocked by that performance in a positive way. I mean, I thought it was just a bad matchup for the Steelers because Brian Flores is such a good defensive coordinator, and that defensive line for Minnesota and their entire defense is just really stacked. And Brian Flores, I thought their defense last year, personnel-wise, was average, and he elevated them. And I think they have better players this year. But I'm shocked with how the Steelers' offensive line has performed in the first 3 weeks. They dominated at the line of scrimmage, and they ran the ball. I mean, the Steelers, I don't think this year running the ball is their strength. And then when I heard that Jalen Warren was out, I was like, oh, this is going to be worse than I even imagined. And I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to have no protection at all. But speaking on the running game, I was just so impressed with Kenneth Gainwell and the offensive line. I mean, people are like, well, Aaron only threw for 200 yards, but that's because he didn't have to do anything because we just were running it down their throats. And I was very impressed with Kenneth Gainwell and the offensive line. And you want to see with a young offensive line like the Steelers have, for them to get better every single week. And it hasn't looked good, but the last 2 weeks we've seen improvement, but especially this week. Now, the pass rush was a problem at times. Especially that first drive, Aaron was sacked the first play.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, what's great about Aaron is he knows how to adjust. And so does Arthur Smith, but I think Aaron being there and just all of his experience kind of makes him a co-offensive coordinator. And I had been calling for the Steelers to really get into the short, quick passing game, kind of like they did in Ben's last year. But the difference is we have much better weapons than we had in Ben's final year. And so you can throw quick throws to DK Metcalf. Like, I remember the first play of the second drive. He got the ball under center. It's like a classic Rodgers. He gets the ball under center, throws it to the sideline. DK, go run, man. I mean, he is not only one of the best go ball guys in the league, but one of the best yards after catch, because not only is he massive and can outbody anybody and go up for any ball, when you get the ball in his hands, I mean, he is seriously so fast. So fast. I mean, that 80-yard touchdown, you'll see that hopefully like 2 or 3 times a year where he just gets the ball and just all of a sudden the game's changed. And what a special athlete. Now, I know he has problems with drops at times, but gosh, what
Everybody
a beast.
has drops. But Darnell Washington, 6'7", 280-some pounds. Finally, he's used in the end zone, because we've seen week after week that he's really not involved that much. And finally, when you get him in the end zone, he can body anybody. He can go up against anybody and draw that penalty that will literally get them the ball. And
we've seen that a couple times this year. In the last 2 weeks, I mean, generally, like, they've actually been trying to get him involved. And what I was worried about this year was that he was only going to be used as a blocking tight end with how many issues we have on the offensive line. But like, they've actually been sending him on routes, and Aaron has been targeting him. Aaron's missed him a couple times over the last few weeks, but last week he got 3 or 4 catches, I feel like. And but the problem with the Steelers tight end room is, like, there's so many guys that you can get the ball to. Like, Freiermuth had no action last game.
He's been quiet within the past few weeks.
Freiermuth, out of the 3 tight ends, I'm not as high on Freiermuth. I think Freiermuth is a better blocker than Johnny, who's a pure receiver tight end. And I think Johnny was a much better receiver tight end than Pat Freiermuth, and I think that's why they got him. I just don't understand why we gave Freiermuth so much money. You see just mistakes from him every week that like he shouldn't be making. I mean, this week they blocked the field goal because he was supposed to be blocking on the edge, and he kind of just put an arm. He didn't give full effort. He just put an arm out to the guy on the Isaiah Rodgers, again making a big play for the Vikings. He kind of just put a hand out there and didn't really give full effort on that block, and that could have. I was like, oh crap! But we dominated that game.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk. Let's not talk about we'll talk about the end of that game, but should not have been that close. The Steelers always have to give everyone cardiac arrest.
Still not understanding, though, we're like hyping up the Vikings, and Carson Wentz got sacked 7 times. That's like crickets. Nobody's talking about that. That's crickets. Carson Wentz, we're like making him some kind of like, he's coming into this league even though as a backup. He got sacked 7 times.
Yeah, well,
and you picked the Vikings over the Steelers.
I did, and well, because of the defense, because I thought the Vikings defense was going to cause problems, and they didn't. And I thought, and look, Kevin O'Connell, I think, is one of the best offensive coaches in football. But when you have 3 offensive linemen missing, well, they came into the game with 1, and then Brian O'Neill, former Pitt Panther, he gets hurt on the field goal. Yeah. Another guy gets hurt. You're down 3 offensive linemen, and the Steelers' front 4 has had trouble getting to the getting pressure this season. But when you have 3 offensive linemen with that talent on the defensive line, you have 3 offensive linemen out. There was really nothing O'Connell could game plan for Carson Wentz to have success. And I feel like Carson Wentz just didn't have a very good. He is what he is. He's not going to be what Sam Darnold was last year. Now Sam Darnold last year came in as the presumed backup. J.J. McCarthy gets hurt, and Sam Darnold turns out to be an elite player. That's not going to happen with Carson Wentz, not at this point in his career. So, but he still may be better than J.J. McCarthy. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
J.J. McCarthy, I've never really been a big fan. He did not look good. He had 1 good quarter. Like, he has not looked very good. And coming out of camp, people were saying he doesn't look that good. So I think the Vikings are going to regret letting go of Sam Darnold for sure.
Fully agree with you on that one because I'm actually one of the bigger Sam Darnold advocates out there.
Me too.
I defended Darnold even when he was a Jet. Actually, back in the 2018 class, whenever it was Rosen and Darnold.
That
and
was
Allen
an incredible class. And I thought Josh Rosen was going to be really good, and he's the only one that didn't have any success.
Oh, I know. I'm a Cardinals fan. I'm well aware.
That's right. That's right.
I'm well aware. But no, I actually wanted Sam Darnold. That was who I wanted in that class that year. I thought Sam Darnold would be a perfect fit in Arizona. And I defended him for years in New York because I was like, it's Adam Gase. It's Adam Gase. It's Adam Gase. It's Adam Gase.
Yeah.
And obviously it was Adam Gase. Darnold then went on to Carolina, kind of got his footing in the ground. And then obviously when he came to Minnesota, just lit things up. He also spent a year as a backup in San Fran.
I mean, he's the winningest over the last year and 4 games. He's the winningest quarterback in the NFL. And he's tied with Patrick Mahomes for the most game-winning drives.
Which is incredible.
Patrick Mahomes ain't winning another Super Bowl in this lifetime. He's done.
That's a crazy statement, which we'll come back to in a second. But no, back to the Steelers. I believe they had a really good showing, like you said, Peyton. My only issue with them going forward is where does this run defense necessarily lay? Because I'm not fully sold. Even after this Vikings game, I know that the Vikings were down 3 offensive linemen. I'm still not over that New York Jets game. That Jets game, Breece Hall absolutely ate this defense up.
I agree. I'm not over it either, Austin.
Yeah, it's bad.
And you look at that Jets team last night, was a complete mess. And I'm like, this highest paid defense allowed 32 points, made Justin Fields look like Lamar Jackson. Like, that is concerning. No, I think there are issues. There are big issues with this defense. I don't know if the defensive performance was more because the Vikings were injured or they're actually improving.
Right. That's why when I see the 7 sacks, like, yeah, 7 sacks is cool, but I mean, there's 3 offensive linemen down at Carson Wentz.
And Carson Wentz, there were guys open, and he just kind of like he doesn't read the field that well, clearly. No, but I do think what I do like about the defense is the blitzing.
Yes.
There needed to be more blitzing, and we've seen that the last 2 weeks is more blitzing. But the Steelers, when you're paying T.J. Watt all that money and Cam Hayward, the front you have to be able to send 4 and get pressure a lot of the time. Like, that's the standard at this point.
Exactly. And Mike Tomlin, when he first came to Pittsburgh, his motto was run the ball, stop the run. Those are the 2 things that he claimed when he first became the head coach of the Steelers.
And they don't stop the run.
That's their 2 biggest issues right now.
They don't.
Gainwell did look good. I will say Gainwell looked really good.
He's underestimated in a lot of ways.
He is, but I'm still, again, I'm not sold on Warren. I'm not sold on Johnson. I want to get your opinion on this, Peyton. I actually said that the Steelers made the biggest mistake passing up Scadaboo over Johnson. I agree with you.
Johnson just does not have the burst. I mean, the fact that I know that Tomlin has a thing where, like, rookies have to sit for a while, but, like, the fact that he couldn't beat out Kenneth Gainwell is somewhat concerning. Now, maybe Kenneth Gainwell is better than I thought. I still think now I disagree. I think Jaylen Warren can be a number one back in this league. But with this offensive line, can he be that guy? I don't think he's good enough to overcome some of the issues on the offensive line. But he has a burst to him that, like, we didn't see with Najee. Now Najee, I think we could have used Najee this year, but it's unfortunate what happened to him.
Yeah,
but it wasn't worth the money, and I'm glad they kept. I mean, it's good that they signed Jaylen Warren. Now, even if he isn't the lead back in the next 2 years or whatever he's around for, like, he's a good guy to have, especially if Caleb Johnson doesn't turn out. I mean, he just doesn't have that explosiveness, that burst that you would want to see, and he's not really that physical. Like, he's not a big back. My hope is, because I love players from Iowa, I hope that the Iowa luck comes and helps him out. But that special teams play in Seattle, I was at that game. That was just, I mean, that's really bad and I don't care if you're a rookie, if you're a 10-year veteran. Like, that just can't happen.
Yeah.
That can't happen. But he had looked just kind of slow on special when he was returning the ball. He just kind of looked slow. Mm-hmm. So
now, I saw you got fired up whenever Nick was making his point. Would you like to respond to what he said before?
What was he saying? I lose track of what he's saying. The Mahomes?
Come on, you know it's true.
Okay. He's been to 5 Super Bowls.
That's it. We're done. No more in this lifetime.
Listen, Tom Brady didn't win a Super Bowl for 11 years, and then he ended up winning 3 more. Now, I don't know if Mahomes is going to have the longevity of Tom Brady. I don't know if anyone will. But with that coach and that organization, I mean, they over the last couple of years, their offense hasn't even been that great, and yet they keep going to the Super Bowl. Like, it's not the Tyreek Hill era where they were throwing the ball downfield and Mahomes was throwing 40 touchdowns. That's not really how they win. Now, I do think their offensive line is an issue, but Baltimore's so injured right now, they made them look like fools.
They have 7 players out coming this week. Lamar, especially big one. We'll get to that, but
I don't know how serious it is, but they took him out.
4 to 5 weeks, I'm thinking. At least that's some of the news. It's about 3 to 5. He has a hamstring, yeah.
Well, and that makes things really interesting for the Steelers. If the Ravens are going to have a 2024 49ers like year where just everyone is injured, like the Bengals aren't competing, the Browns aren't competing.
I know. I made that point on the radio show yesterday. I said the Steelers by default are the division favorites right now. Put an asterisk next to it.
I know, and I mean, I thought last year was the year, like 10-3. Let's compete in the playoffs. Didn't happen. I mean, they got blown out again. And then this year, you're thinking they're going to win the division now. It doesn't mean they're going to win a playoff game just because they'll get a home playoff game. Now, last year we had a big division lead. We had a 2 or 3 game division lead, and we blew it. So I'm not hailing them champs. The Ravens could get it together.
Well, now
we'll see.
Well, Bengals are without Joe Burrow now.
Yeah, and they're such a mess. I mean, the only thing keeping them up was Joe Burrow and that receiving core. Their offensive line, so bad. I mean, look, they made the Vikings look like the 70s steel curtain last week. It's really bad. And their defense. I think it was a huge mistake for them to let go of Lou Anarumo. The defense. He's now with the Colts, and look what the Colts defense is looking. I mean, they were bad last year, and they're looking really good. Lou Anarumo is a good defensive coordinator, and they let him go. But the Bengals defense had virtually no talent last year. Was terrible, but then towards the back half of the year, they got better. And then they just let him go as the scapegoat. And so I don't see their defense getting any better. And now Joe Burrow, it's a mess.
Last night's game was absolutely atrocious. I think they had
both games.
Yes, both games. We'll get to that. 3 or 4 false starts or penalties in a row, I think, on the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, every time, like, that first couple of drives, Drake Browning, like, they were moving the ball. T. Higgins would make a great catch. Jamar would make a great catch. And then illegal motion, illegal formation, illegal shift against the Bengals line or holding. It was crazy.
And that falls on the coach, Zach Taylor.
Yeah, I'm not never really
sold
been
on him.
No, I thought they should have let him go after last year.
They should have let him stay in Denver last night, pick up a new head coach on the way.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. I don't think he's that great of an offensive mind. I mean, they've had really no running game to support Joe. They haven't been able to develop an offensive line. It's just Joe, do your thing, throw the ball to Jamar and T. Like, I don't think that makes him a great offensive coach.
Ever since they got rid of Mixon was the big one they lost. Like, they have not had a running game since Mixon has been gone.
And Chase, everyone's like hyping up Chase Brown. He's basically Jalen Warren, but with a better quarterback and a better, group of talent, skill set wise. When you have Jamar and T and Burrow, he's more of a pass catching back than a every 3 down back. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
They kind of, Chase Brown and Jalen Warren remind me of each other. They're both they both have that burst. They both wear the same number. They're both kind of smaller. It's kind of funny, but.
I want to move to Tyreek Hill. That was a nasty injury last night. He is out for the rest of the season.
No doubt. It's a scary injury.
And he may not even be ready to go by week 1 of 26, according to a lot of sources from NFL, ESPN, CBS.
I mean, I heard something that it was like Nick Chubb's injury, and we know how serious that was. I mean, he will never be the same either. So
moving forward, the Dolphins did win last night against the Jets. Just almost came back 27-21, but there is still some serious questions of where the Dolphins season is going to go. I think
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, especially Tua Tagovailoa.
That was the peak poverty tank bowl last night. That was just 2 really bad teams. I mean, it was kind of entertaining, but I mean, the Jets' offensive line was, committing so many penalties. Them and the Bengals' offensive lines. And the Dolphins' defense should be worse than the Jets. I mean, the Jets have a defensive coach. They have Sauce Gardner. They have Quinn and Williams. But the Dolphins' offense did more last night, which is crazy. But now the Dolphins, I think, have a better quarterback. Now that's not saying much, but over Justin Fields, the Dolphins have a better quarterback and a pretty creative offensive coach. Mike McDaniel, he's kind of like Cliff Kingsbury, where
they can leave him too in Miami and go get somebody else. Cliff Kingsbury
with Arizona, I think Cliff Kingsbury is a very good offensive coach, but you can't just be a play caller and an offensive mind. You have to have the leadership, and you have to win over the locker room. And I think Mike McDaniel's just lost the locker room. Now, Mike McDaniel, he'll get fired and he'll go somewhere else and be a great offensive coordinator. I'd love the Steelers to have Mike McDaniel as their offensive coordinator. I'd love that.
Yeah, Arthur Smith, he's not really ringing a bell.
Look, Arthur Smith is better than what we had.
Way better than Matt Canada.
But, sometimes he just does things. And I think having Aaron, the Steelers should be a pass-first team for the most part. Mm-hmm. But Arthur Smith is really a run-first guy.
Yeah.
So it's 2 different ideologies going against each other. But Aaron was more than happy to run the ball the way we were, So if we could do both together just as well, then we're gonna be a dangerous offense. If Aaron can those first couple of weeks, it was all on Aaron's shoulders, and this week it wasn't, and we saw the results. So he just had to be efficient and make a few big throws, and that was it.
I think it's time to talk about what we've all been waiting for. And you know what that sign means. The Dallas Cowboys.
What a performance.
What a performance. Austin's dreading this moment. Every week I bring this up. Against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. What a game at home for Micah Parsons to return to, the stadium. Jerry Jones was on Sunday Night Football talking a little bit about, how everything came together with the negotiations and sending Micah off. This Cowboys team is basically 2 different eras. The offense is performing incredibly. They're the number 1 offense, according to some stats this morning. Their defense is raked at the bottom.
Yeah.
Horrible. You cannot give up 40 points and expect to win. There was a tie. I'm shocked. But this offense, Dak is like, especially with George Pickens, come on. This is what we've all been waiting for, especially CD's out. George Pickens performed very well on Sunday. I don't want to hear any like ifs, ands, or buts.
When he is focused and not crashing out, not being a baby.
He's locked in.
He is one of the most dangerous receivers in the league. I'm okay with the Steelers letting him go because they were never going to re-sign him because of his issues with the locker room. But the Cowboys give Dak that guy that he needed for at least 1 year, and maybe if it works out, they will extend him, and that'll work out for them. But I'm fine with having DK Metcalf over George Pickens. They're both very talented, but they're both kind of the same receiver in that they're not elite route runners, but they're physical guys who can catch that go ball and have the yards after catch. And I just don't think that would have really gelled well to have both of them. Where CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, that works really well because CeeDee Lamb is a route technician, man. And George Pickens is that kind of like secondary option. He's going to get the go balls. He's going to have the yards after catch. He's going to get open. He's going to find ways to get open, but in a different way. And for him to not be the main priority is a good thing because when he wasn't getting the ball in Pittsburgh, it was just big drama. Now if he's getting the ball and not getting the ball in Dallas, it's like, well, you have CeeDee Lamb. Now, I'm very impressed with how he stepped up last week.
Sunday was
because he has to be that number one guy for a little while now. And I mean, I'm more confused by the Packers defense because they looked outstanding for 3 weeks. Their pass rush was incredible. Now they lost one of their D tackles during the game.
Right.
They still have some injuries in the secondary, but they have a lot of depth. And the Cowboys receiving core, you have to give them credit for getting open. And Dak, this is the best Dak has looked. now 2 years ago, he was a runner-up for MVP. Mm-hmm. So, other than that year, this is the best
we could make the argument he could possibly be the MVP this year if he holds up to this standard.
He could have a Joe Burrow type of year last year where, they win 8 or 9 games because their defense is so bad, but, Dak has 40 touchdowns and 8 picks or something, and you have to at least consider him for the award. What I think is no one's talking about with Dallas, and this was the issue with Mike McCarthy, they never had a run game.
No,
never. And ever since that Philadelphia game, you've seen them have a run game with this Javonte Williams.
Yes,
and I was never. I mean, but he's kind of been a younger guy that's he had that big rookie season. He got hurt, and he hasn't been quite the same. But he's still 25, 26 years old.
He's trying to make that comeback.
Yeah, and they've been physical. That offensive line handled that pass rush. They had a good plan. I mean, Dallas's main thing was, first of all, we just traded Micah. We're not going to let him embarrass us. So they did everything. They kept all the run plays away from Micah. They double teamed him all game, made him a non-factor.
Yes, they did.
So Brian Schottenheimer, I think, has picked up where Mike McCarthy left off. I thought Mike McCarthy was a pretty good offensive coach, and I think Brian Schottenheimer.
Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Dak was struggling there, and when Mike McCarthy came in, he got a lot better. But the issue with Mike McCarthy was they just didn't have a run game.
Mike McCarthy didn't know what the hell he was doing to begin with.
And Mike McCarthy also brought in good defensive coaches. You had Mike Zimmer. You had what's his name? Dan Quinn, right? Who's now the coach of the Commanders. And now, not only do you have no personnel on defense, but you have Matt Eberflus as your defensive coordinator.
He got to go.
So that's kind of on Schottenheimer. This Dallas defense.
That's the worrying sum. You cannot give up 40 points a game and expect to win.
Them trading Micah may have not been the worst. I think it was great for the Packers, but it may have not been as bad for the Cowboys because even if they have Micah, their defense was still going to be atrocious. It was still going to be really bad. Now it's just bottom of the league bad. It was still going to be bottom 10 in the league, but now it's the worst defense in all of football. They made Caleb Williams look like what he's supposed to look like last week. So Dak is that in that offense, they can't make any mistakes or they're gonna lose. And that's tough. I mean, we saw Joe Burrow win 9 games. I don't think Dak is as good as Joe Burrow, but maybe I had the Cowboys winning 6 games this year, but maybe they'll squeeze out 7 or 8. And the reality is you love what their offense is doing, but they won 1 game. So
what do you make of the ties? I feel like it's an unfair advantage. I think we should get rid of the ties and play another quarter of football, sudden death, and get moving. I think the ties do a disingenuous with Las Vegas and the betting market in total. When you're at 40-40, people want another quarter of football. And I'll say it for any team. Get rid of the tie, let the betting markets play it out, and play another quarter of football until we have a win.
The NFL is not concerned about what bettors
do.
do.
The NFL is concerned about over international games and still not having security, as Skylar Thompson got robbed. But that's okay. Roger Goodell knows exactly how to get the international games. I'm not a fan of Roger Goodell.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's okay. We can just let Roger Goodell keep doing his NFL thing. That's it. Keep putting everything international. That's it. Go international.
They have 3 or 4 games a year. What's wrong with international games? Why do you not like international games?
Well, I think if you want to do international games, there should be a lot of security around it, and there should be personnel. Because
just because Skylar Thompson got robbed, anyone could get robbed.
Well, that raises a question now. If it's probably...
Aaron Rodgers could get robbed in Pittsburgh. Anybody could get robbed.
Why international?
Hell, I can get robbed.
Well, we
could get robbed here.
But why international? Just keep it to the United States. Don't you?
Because they're trying to expand the game.
No, they're trying to They want people to come to the United States, but yet we want to go international.
I don't think that's it. They just want the game to be global. And I have no problem with that.
No, not at all. Nick, you're 100% wrong with what you're saying. Here's the thing. Every major sports franchise is known for what's called expanding globally. Every major franchise has done it. We've seen baseball games in other countries. Mm-hmm. We've seen hockey games in other countries. Look at the Four Nations battle that we saw last year. Even the WWE, which I'm the biggest advocate in the world for, literally goes all across the country. We just had a pay-per-view in Paris. Most selling pay-per-view of all time. They're going back to Saudi Arabia. I don't necessarily agree with going there due to politics, but that's a different story. But I'm still all for expanding globally because when you expand globally, yes, it's not like they're going to Iraq. You're making it sound like they're going to a war country. Yes, Skylar Thompson got robbed. He shouldn't have got robbed, but anybody can get robbed, Nick. Literally anybody can get robbed. So it's not like
But that's setting a precedent.
No, it's not setting a precedent.
No, it's really not.
It's really not.
Okay, here's where I'll say the one negative thing about international games is it takes money away from the people who work games in the United States. Like, my mom works at the Steelers games, and she's not happy that a home game was in Ireland. Like, that's where money is made. But it's one game. Now, the Vikings, I think it's ridiculous.
I think that's unfair, too.
The Vikings playing 2 games back-to-back, I think that's a little over the hump. But
here's my thing. If we're doing, playoff games and Super Bowls out of the country,
then that's a problem.
Well, that's what the NFL wants to go to.
That's where I disagree. But a regular season game, an exhibition,
exhibition can be over across the country, but keep the regular season and Super Bowl and playoffs.
But there won't be as much interest if it's an exhibition.
Exactly.
Because then, okay, Patrick, if it's the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil, like it was, and it was a preseason game, for example, like Herbert and Mahomes are going to play one drive if it's an exhibition game. So you're not going to draw interest.
Yeah.
I don't agree with going international. I really don't for the NFL.
So you're not for expanding and giving fans in other countries
Nicholas Brown
a chance to watch
is
football?
a true American patriot.
I'm just saying, I think it's doing a lot of the home field, home team and stadiums disadvantages. I think that's taking away market share, market money from executives for people that have tickets. I don't want to be a personal season ticket holder and travel across the country. Really don't. I pay because it's in my home stadium for my home team.
You don't have to, though. That's the thing. If you have season tickets, that doesn't affect international games at all.
But I don't want to go across for my team.
You don't have to.
A lot of Steelers fans had a great trip out there that have season tickets. I mean, what was cool about this game is that it was like a Steelers home game. Mm-hmm. Like the Steelers actually had home field advantage. Like it was 60 or 70% Steeler fans.
Which is crazy.
They had the Steelers when they say it's third down. They had they had Renegade. They had, and what I mean by the horn is like if it's third down, they go, and they get the fans go loud, and there's like that big horn.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Larry Reich, I always say his name, Richard. He was the PA announcer, so it was a Steelers home game.
Because they were designated as the home team.
Yeah, and my uncle actually made a joke. He said Rooney knew what he was doing, he knew that the Steelers would come prepared and that the other team would be going and drinking Guinness all week and not prepared for the game. They'd come out sluggish and the Steelers would win.
Well,
the Vikings were drinking all
Aaron
week.
Rodgers, I think, had a few Guinnesses.
Well, yeah, he's allowed to have his substances. He'll be fine.
But what did you make of the team getting there Friday and the game was Sunday? That's like no time to
I thought
prepare.
they'd get there earlier, but that's how it works in the in regular season games. Like if the Steelers are traveling to anywhere, Cleveland, Denver, doesn't matter. They get there usually on a Saturday, actually, and they have like a walkthrough on Saturday, but their practices throughout the week are at home. That's how it usually works. So I guess they were just trying to keep it normal despite it being an international game. Keep their, what's the word? Practice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
normal.
think that a team should get two back-to-back cross-country games at all. I
agree with you on that.
I think
100%.
it should be. I think you should give another team a chance. How the Vikings are going to perform. I think they're this week's London?
Yeah,
How's
well,
London?
they're playing the Browns, so that's nice for them.
It is.
But they're deep. You know what? I'm nervous when the Steelers play the Browns because
Yeah, good defense.
the Steelers' defense can give up. They give up yards to everybody. They give
do.
up yards to the Jets. Like Joe Flacco will throw for yards. If Joe Flacco's still playing, we don't even know. It might be Dylan Gabriel. I hope it's Dylan Gabriel. But if it's Joe Flacco, like they're gonna throw for yards against the Steelers. The Steelers defense, they give up a lot of yards, but they make the splash plays. And to me, that's just the issue with them. You can't consistently do that against the great teams and win. You have to be able to actually stop the teams from getting yards. You have to stop the run. You have to stop the explosive plays and the downfield throws.
When TJ Watt gets involved, that really makes a difference.
That's true, and he has been very quiet until this past week.
This past week, he made a huge difference in a lot of plays.
And there's no excuse for him just because he's double teamed. Like you have to still make an impact. Micah Parsons gets double teamed. Miles Garrett gets double teamed. Those guys still make.
I'm glad that you said that because not many people are willing to admit that.
Those guys still make plays. So. But the problem with the Steelers schematically is they're always playing soft coverage, and they just give up the short stuff. And these teams just march down the field and collect their yardage. I thought I saw a little bit more man-to-man and a little bit more blitzing this past week. But, I mean, they got Jalen Ramsey for a reason. Like, they should be playing more man-to-man and bringing more blitzes. And these middle linebackers, they're no good in coverage, so you might as well blitz them. And we saw that with Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. But I don't know. I probably got off topic here. But
what do you make of all the blocked field goals as we're heading into week 5? This is an era that I don't think we've seen in years. As
a person who picks games and, I love the spreads and all that.
Holy cow, with a lot of these...
The block, it's like you expect the field. Okay, a guy could miss a field goal. That happens all the time. But they found some sort of cheat code. I think we're gonna find out in the next few weeks. Something's going on. Now it's only been the last 2 weeks, so maybe it's just a coincidence that there happened to be a lot of blocked field goals. But it's like these guys are getting these snaps perfectly timed right now. So these special teams units, at least on the offensive side of the ball, the kicking side of the ball, they have to figure something out. They need to watch some film because I'm tired of seeing all these kicks get blocked. Your offense has a great drive, and it's all for nothing because we can't block on the field goal. Like that makes me mad. And of course, I root for offense. We all root for offense. Yeah. So you hate to see it. It's fun occasionally, but it's getting that Raiders game that made me mad for them to be blocked.
I don't even know why in the hell you would pick the Raiders. They're bottom of the league right now.
That game could have went either way. I thought the thing is with Geno Smith is Jekyll and Hyde. Like he can look really, really good and really. I mean, he slings. He's not afraid to throw the ball downfield, but he'll make a lot of mistakes. And that's what we saw last week, and that's why they lost the game. The Bears are interesting. Caleb Williams, I'm not completely sold on. I mean, the talent is so there, but I just don't think he's consistent enough in terms of reading the field and making smart decisions. And I think hopefully with Ben Johnson, that's going to improve. The Bears' defense is bad right now, but they do have a lot of injuries. So we'll see when they get some guys back. But that's a big confidence booster for a Bears team. I mean, it was an ugly win, but for them to win a game on the road was a huge confidence booster because that franchise, it's just such a mess, and they couldn't win on the road at all with Eberflus. And for them to win that game in a tough environment, I think it matters. It matters. So
For sure it matters.
Yeah.
the Cowboys, though, I was impressed. Their offense.
Oh, we're back to the Cowboys now? Oh, boy.
I don't know. I feel like we were talking about them and then we went away from them. I was impressed with the Cowboys. I with their offense, but Dak is good at that. They have to be perfect to win games, and I don't think
let's not get ridiculous.
they do.
Perfect. No.
What has their defense done?
Dak has now, this will be number 8. Dak has scored 8, has thrown to pass 8 touchdowns within the last 2 minutes of the game. If I were to bet on anybody, I would definitely want Dak on my team. If he can,
Absolutely, he's a franchise quarterback. I like Dak. I'm just saying he has to be perfect like he was yesterday or
and so
2
does
days
Patrick
ago.
Mahomes, because
No, he has
No,
a defense. He has. They've been winning because of their defense.
Yeah, Mahomes.
who? The
just
Mahomes. They're 1 in, what is it this year?
They're 2-2.
2-2.
They're better than the. Let's not compare the Chiefs and the Cowboys.
But I'm just saying, 2-2. I don't know if the Chiefs can get up there. I think that they're falling off this cliff now. I actually don't think.
They may not win their division, but they're gonna be in the wild card, and no one wants to face the Chiefs. They're a team. The problem with the Steelers, for example, and the Cowboys, they don't get better as the year goes along.
I don't know.
The Chiefs, they get better as the year goes along. Austin,
Hi.
Can you say the
You
same?
okay?
Can you
I'm
say the
not
same for
okay.
the
This
Bills?
guy-
Can you say for the same for the Ravens? Because it
the
seems
Bills.
like
No, I agree.
Josh Allen has a hiccup in the playoffs. So does Lamar.
Well, Allen, the reason the Bills lose is not because of Allen. It's because Sean McDermott is an overrated defensive coach. He's never had a great defense in Buffalo, and yet he's still there. I think they should move off of him, to be quite honest with you, if they don't go to the Super Bowl this year. And Lamar, he gets in his own head. Like, the Chiefs are in his head. The playoffs, being in the playoffs are in his head because you see him make these mistakes against these teams like the Chiefs and the Bills that, like, he never makes.
Lamar can run
And-
all over in the regular season. When it comes down to the playoffs, well, say goodnight, sayonara.
That's very disrespectful.
It's true. You know it.
It's very disrespectful.
You know it, and
I mean,
know it.
Lamar, but
You know it
he's
and I
won
know it.
some playoff games, but like,
But he
I
hasn't
think-
gone to the Super Bowl. He always chokes.
yeah, but
Always.
it's not just him though. I mean, their defense hasn't been clutch when it's needed to be. But I do agree that I think more than Josh Allen, Lamar has an issue. He gets in his own head at times, and I think
he chokes.
the entire Raven. I don't think it's just Lamar though. I think when the Ravens face adversity, they tighten up and they just because when they're going, they dominate teams, and they just have trouble winning these close games. They're just not very comfortable winning close games, and I think that's an issue. I mean, and they blow leads. Jalen Hurts is like 60-1 or something when when the Eagles have a 7-point lead going into the fourth quarter. The Ravens have lost like 9 or 10 games, and that's a cultural issue, and that's on John Harbaugh. So I don't want to say move off of John Harbaugh, but like at some point with both him and McDermott, it's like the Chiefs are great and all, but like you can't keep losing
John-
out to them.
And John always, most of the time, goes for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. It's very risky.
Well, if you go like the other day, they went for it, and Derrick Henry wasn't on the field. How do you not have him on the field?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How do you want me to respond to this? We talked about like 3 different teams in a matter of 2 minutes. What should I respond to?
When I'm on, it's a mess.
You're good.
We go all over, and then this guy.
Oh, he makes it worse. Okay, well, first of all, back to the Cowboys. They're not going anywhere. Their defense
not,
is
no.
atrocious. They're dead last in sacks, dead last in stopping yards after the run, dead last in stopping yards after the catch, dead last in stopping the initial run from the line of scrimmage. They're dead last in missed tackles. They're dead last in forced fumbles. They are second to last in fumble recoveries. They are the worst defense in the National Football League
their
by
offense-
a mile. Now, hold on, I didn't interrupt you. Their offense is really good. I'm impressed with how great
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is playing right now. This is probably, you made a good comparison. This is probably the best he has played since his MVP runner-up level year. Now, is that going to continue throughout the season? I don't know, because Dallas usually never has that big improvement throughout the season. They either stay staggered or get worse. My biggest concern going forward is Matt Eberflus. I do not know how he has a job in the National Football League after what happened in Chicago.
Oh my!
He should not be a coordinator. He should not be a coach. He shouldn't even be the water boy. Matt Eberflus is atrocious, and he is what's going to hold back Dallas from even winning a playoff game. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you can have the best offense in the NFL. You can.
They're not making. They're not even.
I don't have him
coming close to the playoffs.
Don't worry, I don't have him in the playoffs. But I'll tell you this: Matt Eberflus is what's going to hold back this team from making it because. Defense is what wins you championships.
Peanuts? Sorry.
I'll take some. Why not? I need some after dealing with him.
Here, can I have some peanuts?
No, you don't get any peanuts.
Peanut Peyton. No, the Dallas defense is atrocious. The offense is godly. And you're in the same division as the Commanders, who will be getting Jaden Daniels back soon, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who I believe has the best chance of going back to the Super Bowl in the NFC.
Hey, and look, the Giants have a much better defense. Sorry to stack on these peanuts. They're good, man.
Oh, those are some good peanuts.
Oh,
I know.
my God. Football people.
Hey, listen, peanuts, Cracker Jacks, baseball. Why not football?
Listen, you have a better chance of seeing them peanuts in the Super Bowl stadium than the Cowboys this year.
Nope.
But the Cowboys, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're just gonna have to be in the stands. They're gonna have to buy a ticket. That's all. Just like them and the Steelers, they'll be.
You don't think the Steelers will make the Super Bowl?
No.
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
No.
After the performance over at the
What's
Vikings.
your Super Bowl prediction, Nick? Go ahead, share it with Peyton. He would love to hear it.
Dallas and Steelers.
Yeah, in the stands. It'll be them and
On
the
the
Steelers
field.
against in the stands.
On the field.
You
No.
see what I got to deal with every week,
The
Peyton?
Steelers, I mean,
At least I'm not a Cardinals fan.
the problem with the Steelers is they're not defensively, they're not as good as how much money they've invested. And I can't trust Arthur Smith in a big spot.
I don't even trust Mike Tomlin.
And
But
schematically, like we saw, schematically, they're just not good enough defensively either to bring out the best in that defense. And I don't know, the Steelers just, like, when it comes to November and December, and that's when a lot of their schedule is going to get tough, similar to last year. Like, they just seem to get worse. Now, this year, they kind of started off bad. Excuse me. I am so
it
sorry.
says peanuts.
It's those peanuts, bro. That's nasty. But they started off bad kind of this year. So where last year, like, everything went well at first. So I kind of like that. So maybe they will get better. But
Yes.
I mean, it's been a theme over the last 5-6 years. Like, once, like, the rah-rah motivation stuff is good in September and October. But when it gets to November and December, you gotta be well coached, and you gotta have a good game plans. And it feels like defensively, especially, the game plan is we're gonna let them, march down the field on us and hope we get a turnover. And the Steelers do that well a lot of the time, but that's not gonna work, when it matters the most.
Well, Mike Tomlin is welcome on this platform, on this podcast, sit in this chair.
Oh, he has no interest, believe me.
Especially after the stuff you've said about him. He has no interest.
I'm just saying, you can come explain yourself. We are open to all parties. Dak Prescott,
He doesn't have to explain himself.
Brian Schottenheimer, any head coach, they are welcome to come on this podcast.
Believe me, Mike Tomlin has nothing to explain because his job is so as secure as I am in a blanket at night. It's because there's no pressure. He's extended, and Rooney doesn't give him any pressure.
It's called getting a winning season and going one and done in the playoffs.
Right, because how the Rooneys see it, and I'm not criticizing them because at the end of the day, it's a business, right? And the Steelers have been one of the most competitive teams over the last quarter century. And as long as they're competitive, they're going to be the number one sports team in this city in terms of interest. And they're going to be able to make money off of that. And they're going to be able to have they're a worldwide brand. So, and look, I'm not going to, I'd much rather be a Steelers fan than be a Giants fan. Like, I'm not going to complain about winning 9-10 games every year. But, you would like to see them maybe have a bad year to get some good draft picks and to have some higher picks in the draft. But you never know. Maybe that'll happen someday. We'll see.
Never know.
Because this quarterback class, some of these Steelers fans online are like
out there.
They're like watching every quarterback, knowing they're like 100% the Steelers are going to take a quarterback in the first round just because they're in Pittsburgh next year. Like, I don't know if there's one quarterback right now who's worth a first-round pick.
There's not.
No.
I mean, so
0.
we don't know how this year's going to go. We don't know what the Steelers' true needs are going to be going into next year. So let's pump the brakes on the Steelers picking a quarterback next year.
I fully agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not sold at all. And this is why we have a whole different discussion at a different time, because I know we're getting close to the end here, but no quarterback in college right now deserves to be a first-round pick. None.
No.
0. I see the Drew Aller rumors, the Archman. Like,
Drew Aller is bad.
He's
folks.
bad.
He
He's
is
really bad. It's not even fun.
I mean, he's physical. He has a big arm. He's tough, but he just does not have he does not read the field. Like, he just doesn't make the big throws. Like, he's inaccurate. You can't be inaccurate in college and then expect to be accurate in the NFL.
I want to bounce this over to you, though, Peyton. I appreciate you so much coming on
Yes.
Steel City Commuters
Yes.
today. I would like
Peanuts.
the Peanut Peyton, Pirate Peyton. Would you like to share any final words or maybe a message at all to end things off
Well,
today?
it's been a fun. I hope I didn't talk too much, but
podcast.
I've had a blast here talking
Peanut
football.
blast.
And we're gonna get into it on my pod with this guy. This guy, I'll tell you
I
what.
can't wait.
The Cowboys. He's gonna calm down about the Cowboys. Check out my We Are Family Pittsburgh Sports podcast with me, Nathan Shimmons, Jake Bell on YouTube. We post on Fridays or Saturdays usually, and then at Pitt Sports Talk on YouTube, we create Steelers and Pirates content, and we have a show called Let's Talk Steelers on 22 The Point with Randy Tantlinger and former NFL quarterback Mike McMahon on 22 The Point Sundays at 10:30 a.m. starting November 2nd. So go ahead and check that out. And thank you guys so
Thank you.
much. This has been a blast, and hopefully you'll come on my podcast, and I'll come back again.
Yes,
sure.
sir.
We'll do
Peyton,
it.
Yes.
you are the best, my friend.
man.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Yes, good to see you.
My
Oh,
gosh.
I already smell the tension here for the next episode of you guys being on. I'm excited for that. I enjoyed your guys' little banter. today.
Yeah.
Took a nice back seat. But thank you all.
Wait. Before we go,
Oh?
we have a very special announcement.
Oh, yeah.
We do?
2 Jagoffs Live is coming to Point Park.
Yes.
It's the first ever podcast that will be live in the
I'll be
Fishbowl.
there.
Oh, I hope so. It's Wednesday, October 29th from 4 to 7 because 4 o'clock starts happy hour. And after this, I definitely need a drink. Students, please bring your ID for free
You ain't
admission.
drinking nothing.
You never know. And tickets will be, when will tickets go on, be announced for prices?
Next week.
Next week. So definitely tune in because we will have a lot of negotiations. You'll probably hear this again on 2 Jagoffs. But again, so very excited to see this live, 2 Jagoffs Live. I will be there networking. This is going to be a fantastic event. I've gotten so much scoop behind the scenes. Can we just skip to October 29th on the calendar?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want to, but we can't.
We can't.
We can't just yet.
And also, congrats to Pirates Don Kelly, Point Park alum, on getting his
Oh, we
contract
should have talked
extended.
baseball. Oh, well. Next time.
We got next time.
We got
next time.
We got to shout out DK for that negotiation.
How about this? Quick reaction, Payne. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, I'm thumbs up with Don Kelly, but
There we go.
the fact that they made that decision so quickly, they didn't even take 24 hours to consider firing the worst general manager in the sport.
Yes, Ben Charrington.
So, I mean, yeah, I have no hope for this organization. I feel bad for Don Kelly because he'll end up being a scapegoat just like Derek Shelton was. I mean, unless
sure.
he turns out to be an elite manager that somehow turns nothing into something with this offense. But I don't know.
You feel
Well,
bad for
so much-
Don Kelly, and I feel very excited for 2 Jagoffs Live.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that. And thank you all so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Steel City Commuters. Until next time, see you on the next one.
Peace.